I would like to start off with introducing Sam White. Assemblyman Sam White, please. Run the show, sir. Thank you, sir. Who are these guys?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Larry, for the introduction, and thank you all for coming here today. As we all know, for the past couple of years, past 3 or 4 years, the country and the state of New York has struggled through a very difficult economic period, a recession that has hit virtually every business, every level of government, every not-for-profit, and as a result, government, including state government that Jane and Bill and I represent, have not been able to provide the resources that we typically have been able to provide over the years to important entities throughout New York State, but particularly to the not-for-profit sector. In addition, because of the difficult economic period, the not-for-profit sector has been hit hard by loss of private sector funding, foundation funding, across the board. And so when Larry Playfair and Rob Ray and Derek Smith and the Buffalo Sabres Alumni Association came to us and approached us on a really good idea, each one of us, Jane Corwin, Bill Stokowski, myself, quickly jumped at the opportunity to help. And let me tell you what we were able to do. The Buffalo Sabres Alumni Association, for a number of years now, has come up with this innovative approach to raising money, which they then redistribute to not-for-profit charitable organizations throughout Western New York. What they do is they sell raffle tickets here at the Sabres games, 50-50 draws, which we all know are very popular throughout Western New York. The success that they enjoyed was so great that they immediately reached a legal cap that exists in the state of New York of $100,000. They were doing so well that the cap that exists in the state of New York was prohibiting them from growing and continuing this enormous success that they enjoyed. As a result, fewer dollars flowing back into the great not-for-profits throughout the region. So Larry reached out to Jane and I and Billy Stack and said, listen, if you raise that cap, then we'll be able to funnel more money into these not-for-profits throughout Western New York. And it was easy for us. We quickly said, you know, that's kind of an arbitrary cap that may have been set, dozens of years ago. And as a result, with changing times, lifting the cap should happen. And the good news is, people will tell you that Albany's broken. People will tell you that Albany doesn't help and that it moves at a snail's pace. The fact is, I haven't seen, and my colleagues might agree, a bill move as quickly as this bill did this past legislative session. I introduced a bill in the Assembly with Jane Corwin and others as a co-sponsor. Billy Stack, Senator Stokowski introduced a bill in the Senate, and like that, it became law. Playfair, Ray, Bobby Nystrom from the New York Islanders all came to Albany, did a magnificent job as lobbying. Now that your hockey careers are over, you guys would all be great lobbyists. They met with the leadership of both the Senate and the Assembly. They gave very compelling arguments as to why this was necessary, and we passed it in the Assembly unanimously. Senator Stokowski got it passed in the Senate unanimously, and the governor quickly signed it into law. As a result of their efforts, we lifted the cap to $500,000, $500,000, 5 times the amount that had previously existed. Because of their hard work and their willingness to give back to this community and their thoughtfulness to approach us about changing the law, young kids like the ones here today and the charities represented here today will be the beneficiaries. One day the economy is going to be cranking again. Government will be able to provide more resources to help. In the meantime, government, in this case, responded quickly to get the job done to make sure that this innovative approach to funding our not-for-profits could be expanded and could continue to do good work throughout the community. Final point is this. Derek Smith showed up. Thank God, because he was a finesse player, Derek Smith was. He was a finesse player. He was a goal scorer, probably had lots and lots and lots of assists. You know, we had Rob Ray. You don't necessarily think of finesse when you hear the name Rob Ray. We had Larry Playfair, not the finesse player that Derek Smith is. I didn't want people to think that only the ruffians give back to the community. So, Derek, it's great to have you here balancing this act off.